Alright, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be continuing CSS. Today we'll be looking at the autonomy of CSS. So the diagram on the right is going to show the two different methods of writing CSS code. You have the rule set and you have the inline. So essentially, uh, these are the two methods, and they may seem a little intimidating at first, but let me go ahead and break it down for you guys without even reading this really. So you have two different types of ways to use CSS. The first one being the just a regular CSS, so creating a separate file, call it, style.css or something like that, and having that code right there. Another thing you can do is the inline, which is basically you recognize the paragraph tag right here. I'm pretty sure it's the paragraph tag from HTML, and you basically just put that in there, and it's an inline statement right there. So both methods do contain common features in the autonomy. Notice how both contain a declaration right here, and then they apply a style to the selected elements, which is the paragraph element in this case, and then it's going to be styled so the text is displayed as blue. So understanding that a declaration is used to style a selected element is key to learning how to style HTML documents with CSS. So the terms below like explain each of the labels in the diagram. So the selector, okay, the selector is essentially the P or the paragraph tag. And by the way, for these, we're just looking at this side of the chart. So the selector is essentially the P right here. That's all it is. It's just choosing whatever it is. And then the declaration block is going to be the all of the green right here. So it's basically the everything inside of the curly braces, including the curly braces, is the declaration block. And then you have the actual declaration, which is everything inside of the curly braces, which is color blue semicolon right here. And then you have the property, which is essentially the thing you're trying to change. So in this case, it's color. And then again, you have the value, which we set it to blue, but you can of course have it to red, green, and all of that. So that's for the CSS rule set. As for the inline, there's the opening tag right there, and then you have the attributes, which is essentially the declaration in the rule set version of this. And then you have the property right here, which essentially is the thing you're trying to change again, which is color. And then you have, of course, the value, which is blue right here. So this diagram may come in handy. So if you want to pause, take a screenshot of it and save it to your phone or your computer, feel free to do so because it may come in handy later on. And yeah, that's really going to end the lesson right here. So we're going to go on to the next one. It's going to be the inline styles. So although CSS is a different language than HTML, it's possible to write CSS code directly within the HTML code using the inline styles. So let me get rid of this. I was testing it out earlier, but let me go ahead and get rid of that and run it. Okay, yeah. So, okay, yeah. And then to style an HTML element, you can just add the style attribute directly to the opening tag. After you add the attributes, you can set it equal to the CSS styles you'd like to set it to. So essentially all we're doing is you take whatever is here. In the opening tag, you know how in HTML we did stuff like ID, um, and all of that. In here, you can just do style and it would just do the inline CSS right here. So it's really that easy. It's just the inline version of whatever we were going to do actually on the separate CSS file, if that makes sense. And then, so the code in the example above demonstrates how to use inline styling. The paragraph element has a style attribute, and the opening tag next to the style attribute is set to the color red, which will be set to the color of the paragraph text to red within the browser. So if you'd like to add more than one style within line styles, simply keep adding the style attributes. Make sure to end the styles with a semicolon, and then yep, and that's how you can add more than one. You can just put a semicolon right there and just have it keep going. So it's important to know that inline styles are a quick way of directly styling an HTML element, but are rarely used when creating websites. But you may encounter, situations where inline styling is necessary, so understanding how it works and recognizing it in HTML code is good knowledge. So I know this is already checked off, but we're gonna basically use the inline styling to set the color of the first paragraph to red or to green. Sorry, to green. So let's find this, and essentially all you do is it's gonna be style equals and then single quotes, and then you set the color colon green, and we run it, and voila, it's green. So that's essentially what inline styling is. It's really not a complicated topic, but I hope you did enjoy this video. And again, if you're finding value throughout this series, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one.